congratulations to New York, Joe Judge. They thoroughly got after us today. Unbelievably disappointed in our coaching staff and myself, our players, the entire Carolina Panthers. I thought the defense hung tough for a while, but in the end, some really well thought out but simple things that they did beat us. And offensively, other than that first drive, that was not a very good day in any shape or form. Obviously, I pulled Sam in the game. Just felt like we needed some sort of a spark. Not that anything was necessarily him. I think it's all of them. Hoping PJ would go out there and make a run or do something to kind of get us going. Sam will be our quarterback next week. He'll be our quarterback moving forward. But in a game like that, I called a fake punt at the minus 15 or 20 yard line the first half, trying to get us going. It got we checked out of it. Champ checked out of it, but this is obviously not anywhere good enough. And I'll answer anything you guys ask today. But at the end of the day, I don't know if we realize the position we're in. You could tell New York certainly recognized after last week the position they were in, that their backs were against the wall, and they had a sense of urgency that we did not have. And so, we'll find that this week. We'll have to find that this week moving forward because we get ready to play Atlanta. We can't continue to go out and we were not the tougher team today, and that's a credit to the Giants coming off what happened to them last week. They showed up to play today at a high level, and we were not good enough.
Saw Dave Tepper go into the locker room afterwards. Did he have any sort of message to the team or saying?
Dave comes in after pretty much every game. Yeah, he's always there just to support.
Matt, was benching Sam at all a realization that he's not the answer long-term here?
Nope, I wouldn't say that. Obviously, it wasn't what we wanted, I think I'm on record. I think quarterbacks go through ups and downs and highs and lows. You look at Daniel Jones tonight. He went through the same kind of game probably last week. From what I looked at, I'm not in their organization. I don't mean to speak for them, but he came out tonight and played great. So Sam's got to take care of the football, and Sam has got to throw on time, and it's not there. Find the checkdowns. We can't be driving with a chance to go, take the lead and throw interceptions. And so that's his sense of urgency this week, I expect to be heightened. He has to have the same. I tried to put that sense of urgency on our coaches. Obviously didn't show up. We'll continue to do it this week. We have to coach better, but our players have to play better as well, and that starts with the quarterback.
Where do you feel like the coaching staff has come up short most?
The final score, especially offensively. Thought defensively they had a good plan. They hung in there. I think in the end we got worn down. Those are all excuses. The defense, they got to step up. Each man on our defense has to step up, make some plays. We're in position to make plays. I just don't see us making enough plays. But offensively, obviously, we didn't protect the quarterback. We wanted to run the football more. We started out running it, didn't run it enough, didn't run it well enough, couldn't convert. It's like the second game of the tail that is 2 of 15 on third down. It's just completely unacceptable. So we have to coach way, way better. There's no doubt. But we also have to play better. And I think this is one of those deals where it's everyone that walks in that building this week is, starting with me, has got to have a sense of urgency that you'd like to think we should have had the last couple weeks. And it feels like it during the week, but it doesn't see them showing up on Sundays. And so, at some point it's got to change.
Matt, what's been the biggest difference between Sam the first 3 weeks of the season and the last 3 weeks?
Throwing on time, taking the open receiver, being patient, protecting the football, not throwing off his back foot. I think some of the things that we're seeing right now, I think there had some times on third downs where guys were open, we're predetermining, we're thinking, and again, I understand young quarterbacks go through that. So we're obviously not coaching Sam well enough, So this isn't about Sam, we needed more from the run game. We needed some explosive plays. We needed some guys to make some big catches. But at the end of the day, as a coach, you're standing on the sideline. Sometimes you're just trying to create something to get the team going. So, tried to do that, and, didn't work out, obviously.
You got 28 yards. I think most of that came on that first drive. What changed after that first drive? Was it the offensive line or just his patience or anything?
No, I think the second drive, I can't remember exactly. We went 3 and out. Then the third drive, we obviously were down the safety. Then the fourth drive went 3 and out. Then we got going on the next drive and had a longer drive and then just didn't convert third down. So to me, tail of the tape is really, just third downs. And, you have to stay on if you want to run the football, you have to stay on the field. So we made an emphasis on running the football this week. Didn't show up.
Now, a couple of those third down, though, were 3rd and 1 and 3rd and 2, and y'all threw the ball. Didn't go well. Do you think Joe got away from the running game?
some of those were like the one 3rd and 2 was like an RP. It took a sack. It was an RPO. It was a handoff to a bubble. You know what I mean? Like, so like we came into this knowing like, hey, we're gonna have to have some run game RPO tags. So a couple of those runs called that just didn't obviously didn't work out. So just
They were checks or they were?
no, they're just a
reads?
RPO. Like the guy's going in motion and the left tackle stepped in, the defensive end knocked him back. He hits the tight end coming back on the RPO. So some of these things were things we game planned, and I was fine with those going in terms of, hey, we're gonna run the football here and RPO here. And at the end of the day, you're thinking on one of those, you're gonna hand it off or you're gonna throw a ball in the flat, and it's gonna be 4th and 1. We're gonna go for them. I went for them 4th and 1 on the first drive of the game from the 30. Like I was determined that we were gonna be a 4-down team. Like I came here today, at the end of the day, I came here today saying, hey, whatever it takes to win, we're going to try to find a way to win, and we did not. But went for it on 4th down. We even at the end we went for it on 4th down and let the score get away from us a little bit. But we have to execute those plays. I think 3rd down is, if you go back and look at us historically, when we don't play well on 3rd down, we're just not very good.
Matt, you went into it right in your opening statement, but can you go a little more into your decision as to when to insert PJ? You had many opportunities, I guess, there. And when did you pull the trigger?
Yeah, I came out, after halftime, like, all right, man, this just feels flat. This does not feel the way it's supposed to feel, especially offensively. I think even the defense was kind of, they were kind of hanging on. I think they held them to a field goal in the first half, but we didn't have it just didn't feel it. So just said, okay, let's go play. And we went down the first drive, and a couple things happened. I can't remember what happened, the amount of plays in the first drive, but the coaches didn't feel like anything was. Sam was playing fine. The next drive, I think it was 3rd and 2. And, the ball, we didn't hit Colin. Colin, does he drift? I don't know. But I was just sort of like, hey, I could feel like it was at the tipping point, right? We were now or never. And I think I waited one more drive and then went ahead and did it. The last thing I wanted to do was embarrass somebody. And because I know that this is going to be the story this week. But, I really believe sometimes it's just, you go back to the olden days before all the pressure, quarterbacks would sometimes sit for a little bit and have to come back. So, Sam will define who he is. You know what I mean? Like, this is up to him. But just sort of wanted to get something going because I could feel it kind of, the field position, to credit to Joe, like we played on their side of the 50 the whole game. On our side of the 50 the whole game, and our punting game obviously wasn't very good. So, our coverage was really good. I was proud of our coverage.
I'm sorry, but you said right then, Sam will definitely be your quarterback.
Yeah, Sam will be the quarterback. I just wanted to get something going today. I just felt like this is it. So, PJ's always ready, but Sam, as long as Sam does the right things, he comes back, and obviously he's going to be really disappointed. But if you're a competitor, you show up this week, and I know he's a competitor. He'll show up this week.
What is it about Sam that you think gives you all the best chance to win, even with this?
We're not winning right now, so it's going to take all of us. You know what I mean? Like, as I said, I think I said it a couple times. Like when we play really well at every other area, you know what I mean? Like when we're catching every ball, when we're stepping through tackles at the running game, when we're running the football well, when we're pass protecting at a high level. Then I'll look at one guy, but I think he just needs a lot of help from a lot of guys right now that he's not getting. But I see the good moments too. I see all the really good things, and so we're going to keep coaching them.
Matt, you were pretty adamant this week that you're not in the quarterback trade market, so this doesn't change that either.
Yeah, no, I obviously I want Sam to play better, but he's the guy we're focused on.
Would it change for you for how you all approach the deadline then?
I can't look to the future, but I don't believe it will. Everyone's disappointed right now. There's emotions flying around, all those things. But at the end of the day, you saw the game, Joe. It wasn't very good in any regard. So to me, it all goes back to like the sense. Think about the way we played defense and then what it looked like today. We have to get ourselves going and moving in the right direction. And this is like same thing happened last year, happened the year before. We got to get it fixed. That's to me. It's like I want our guys like. Losing like this has to infuriate and upset us. And, like if you want to see what it looks like, look what Philadelphia did when we played them. Look what these guys did today. Like these guys came out with a sense of urgency. And so, sometimes you guys ask me like, hey, so-and-so said something after the game. Like, what's it look like? What's going to look like on Wednesday? What's it going to look like on Thursday? Like, we got to get this thing moving. And I don't know that we've had that urgency that we need. And so it'll happen now.
Could you all make another move at punter?
I'm sorry?
Could you all make another move at
Potentially, yeah. Potentially. We got anywhere, we'll see. I mean, I have to go back and look at the tape, and they had 10 up one time. They had no returner deep. I mean, they did some good things, but you know, at this point, Jonathan, like I don't want to sit there and say right now anything's on the table, anything's off the table at anything, because we have to go back. I never am very good at emotional decisions, right? Like, we go back, we go through the process, and then after a game like this, you kind of just want to go back into the locker room and come out next week with all the same guys and see how they respond. You know what I mean? Like, bad stuff happens. What do we look like next week? We better look different next week, or the conversation changes. And I think that's fair. I think the guys would say that's fair. I would say that's fair. So this happened. This was not anything that we wanted, and I don't want to take any credit away from them. It was a great job by them. So let's see who responds. Let's find out who's got that edge. You know what I mean? I want to be. I've always said I want us to be a serious football place. Part of that's having a real edge about ourselves, and everything can't be like happy-go-lucky. We need to become a really tough franchise, a tough building, and I have not got that done. I mean, when things like this happen, man, it goes right on my shoulder. I have not gotten that done. So if we don't become a tough team soon, then we're gonna have to make some serious changes, and that's not panic. I'll make sure I say that, because I believe in what we're doing. I believe in the process we're doing. But I did not feel the urgency and the toughness and the edge that we needed. And but I saw it from Leonard Williams, and I saw it from some of them. And that's not we had some of our players had it, I'm sure. When I look at the tape on, I'll see some guys play really hard, play really well, but just overall unacceptable for all of us. And I don't want to call any one guy out, because I think you guys would all say it kind of looked like the whole team today. So we got to get better.
How much of those offensive issues?
This is the last one.
How much of those offensive issues come down to just the fundamentals, or techniques, or even like the play calling? How much of that goes into all those issues?
Yeah, I mean, I think it always comes down to those things. You always sit there and say, what about this, what about that? And then you turn the tape on, and it's a bad block here, it's a drop here, it's a poor route here, it's a missed read here. Sometimes it's a bad, play call here. I really there wasn't a play today that they said that I was like, oh, why are we doing that? That being said, we've just got to play better.